Hey guys, my name is Mateo, and in this video I'm going to cover 3 common mistakes that I see law firms make with their websites over and over again. So having looked at a lot of legal websites by this point, easily in the hundreds, probably in the thousands actually, I often see that the same mistakes are being made, and these mistakes always result in less leads, lower conversion rates, higher ad costs, so they're important to take note of. So number 1, hard to find contact details. This one is very, very common. I see it all the time. It's probably the most common one, and it's going to kill your conversion rates. So the reason why is because people hate to do any work. They have very low attention spans these days. They hate to look for anything. They just want to get what they're looking for right away with no delay. So the problem is if you make them look for your contact details and they're not immediately apparent, they're actually far more likely to actually just leave your website and go to the next website instead of looking around your website for your contact details. So having a contact button in your header and a small phone number in your footer is not enough. Okay, that's usually what I see. It'll be a small contact us in the top, and they'll have the small phone number, which is usually not clickable, by the way, and then email in the bottom as well. And that is not going to suffice because people are not going to be able to see that clearly. What you want to do is make sure that you have it throughout your page multiple times in a very obvious fashion, and have a form as well. Because if you do this, it's going to be, again, far more obvious for people and they're more likely to click it. The other note I want to bring up, which I mentioned just before, is the clickable thing with the phone number. You want to make sure that the phone number is actually a link so that you can click it. Otherwise, if you can't just click to dial on the mobile, what's going to happen is you're going to force people to try and memorize the phone number or copy and paste it, and it's just work they got to do that they won't do, and so they're far more likely to just not ring you and go to the next one. So make sure that you have the contact details throughout the page multiple times. Make sure that the phone number is clickable and it's obvious, and make sure you got a form on every page. I actually spoke about this in more detail in one of my previous videos, so if you're interested in more details about that, I would go check that one out. So number 2 is the keywords not in the page titles and the H1 headlines. So the problem with this is it's making your website less relevant for those particular things. So let's say I'm going to use the example of family law because I see this one all the time. The keyword is family law, but the problem is not that many people search for family law as opposed to family lawyer. Family lawyer is the major keyword with the major search volume. But by having family law on your page, you're not as relevant for family lawyer as you would be if you had the actual word family lawyer. So that's a typical mistake I see often, and it's specifically important in the H1 headline and in the page titles. So you want to make sure that all of the main keywords that you're actually trying to get traffic for are in the H1 headline and in the page title, and that includes the area that you're servicing, because it's going to make you a lot more relevant for the area that you're servicing if you have the keyword in there as well. So that's something to take note of. The other thing to remember with this is if you don't have the keywords in your H1 headline or your page titles, other law firms do, and so they're the ones that are going to be showing up in the search results when someone searches it, not you. That's what you miss out on by not having them in there. So now number 3 is listing all the services on one generic page. So I see this one quite commonly as well. And basically what I mean by that is you click services, there's a services page, and then all of the services are on that page. They don't have their own pages. So this is a bad thing for 2 reasons. One is it's actually bad for SEO because you don't have any page that's specifically relevant to a particular topic. So no matter what you do, it's going to be very, very difficult, if not impossible, to actually make this page rank for any of the keywords that are relating to these services. And number 2, the other reason it's a problem is the average person searching and looking at your website is not going to be as swayed to actually contact you, and your conversion rates are going to be way lower than if you actually had a page that was specifically talking about the topic that the person was looking for and then going into detail about that topic. You will much more look like an expert if you have a specific page with details about that topic and explaining why you are the best at that, why they should contact you, testimonials if possible, and that kind of thing. And that's going to do a much better job of convincing people to actually contact you about that particular topic than if you just have a generic page with all your services. So those are the 3 most common mistakes I see on law firm websites. So I would highly recommend checking out your website and seeing if you have any of those and then making the corrections accordingly, because it's really going to help bump up your conversion rates as well as help you rank on Google as a result. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Otherwise, if you'd like me to cover a different topic in the next video, let me know about that as well. Thanks.